Yo, Rams house, listen up because the front office in the 310 is making some waves that's going to shift the whole NFC West. We're talking about massive roster jumps, a potential coaching brain drain that's got everyone on edge, and a draft warning that's sparking heated debates across Los Angeles. This ain't your average off-season update, fam. This is the blueprint for our next Super Bowl run. Stick around and hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss a beat. Let's get into the heat right now, horns. Kyren Williams is the engine that's going to make this whole Rams machine purr even louder as the coaching staff officially puts their full trust in this kid, along with two other key third-year ballers. We're talking about a massive shift in the locker room hierarchy, where the front office expects these guys to not just contribute, but to absolutely dominate their roles and become the backbone of this roster. It's that legendary year 3 jump that every scout in the league prays for, and inside the building at Thousand Oaks, the vibe is electric because they know what they've got. This isn't just about depth anymore, it is about crowning the next generation of stars that are going to keep us in the hunt for that Lombardi. The coaches are seeing a level of maturity and physical development in this standout that screams all-pro potential, and honestly, it's about time the rest of the league woke up to what's happening in LA. When you look at the system Sean McVay runs, you need guys who can process at a high speed. And this group is finally clicking at that elite level. And here's the scary part for the rest of the NFC West, because if these 3 players hit their ceiling like expected, this offense becomes an unsolvable puzzle. This is how dynasties are built in the NFL, by identifying internal talent and letting them cook when the lights are brightest. This is the kind of move casual fans don't understand, but it wins championships and sets the stage for a dominant run. But while we're hyped about the talent on the field, there is a storm brewing in the coaches' offices that could change everything about how this team operates next season. And what the Rams are planning to do next is where things get really interesting for every single person who bleeds blue and gold in this city. Yo, if you believe our young stars are about to take over the league, you gotta smash that like button and drop a who's house in the comments right now. We need that energy. Chris Shula is currently sitting in the hot seat of coaching rumors as the Rams prepare for a massive potential exodus of assistant coaches once this season wraps up. It's the price of success in this league, and everyone knows that teams are circling our building like vultures, looking to steal the secret sauce that makes McVay's system so lethal. This coordinator is at the absolute top of every team's wish list right now, and inside the building this raised serious concerns about continuity and how we're going to fill those gaps if a mass exit actually happens. It's wild to think about, but it's the reality of being a premier organization in Los Angeles where everyone wants a piece of what we've built. Now think about this, because losing a defensive mastermind like this kid could throw the whole scheme into a loop right when we're hitting our stride. We've seen this movie before where our staff gets raided, but this year feels different because of the sheer number of names being floated in league circles. But it gets worse, because if the brain drain hits the position coaches too, we're looking at a total rebuild of the teaching staff, which is a nightmare for young players trying to develop. This is the kind of behind-the-scenes drama that can derail a season if it's not handled with surgical precision by the front office in the coming months. The league is buzzing about who might follow him out the door, and the tension is palpable among the faithful who just want some stability for once, while we hunt for another ring. But wait until you hear about who the analysts are saying we should stay far away from in the draft, because the fit just isn't there for the horns, and it could be a massive mistake for the future of our franchise. What do you think about the coaching rumors? Is Shula gone, or is he staying in LA? Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm reading everything. Ty Simpson is the name that every Rams fan needs to keep an eye on, but for all the wrong reasons according to top analysts, who are screaming at Les Snead to pass on this kid in the upcoming draft. The word on the street is that his playstyle is a total mismatch for the complex and rhythmic system that McVay has perfected over the years, and bringing him in could be a recipe for disaster. Analysts are pointing out that while the talent is clearly there, the processing speed and decision-making don't align with what we need under center in the 310. It's a classic case of a great player in the wrong scheme, and for a team like us that relies on timing and precision, this would be a massive gamble that could set the franchise back years. Now think about this, because with the quarterback position being so vital, you can't afford to miss on a high-profile pick, especially when there are other holes to fill on the roster. The league sources are saying that the front office has been warned that this prospect might struggle with the nuances of our playbook, and honestly, we've seen enough draft busts to know when to listen to the experts. This is the kind of move that looks good on paper to casual fans because of the name recognition, but inside the building they know the fit is everything in this league. This is how dynasties are built in the NFL, by knowing who not to draft just as much as who to bring in during the high pressure of the offseason. But the impact of these potential moves goes way beyond just one draft pick, and looking at the big picture for Los Angeles is where things get truly wild as we head into a defining era for the Horns. The Los Angeles Rams are at a critical crossroads where the development of internal talent like Kyren Williams is going to be the deciding factor in whether we stay elite or slide back into the middle of the pack. When you have coaches like Chris Shula being scouted by every other team in the league, it shows that our culture is top tier, but it also puts a massive target on our back every single offseason. The front office knows that losing that kind of institutional knowledge is a huge blow, but that is exactly why they are leaning so hard into these third-year players to step up and lead the way on the field. It is a high-stakes game of chess being played in Thousand Oaks, and every move from the draft room to the practice field has to be perfect. The warning about Ty Simpson is a perfect example of why this team is different, because they aren't just looking for stars, they are looking for specific pieces that fit the McVay puzzle. If a guy doesn't have the mental makeup or the physical traits to run this specific offense, it doesn't matter how many stars he had in college. We are building something sustainable here in the 310, and that means making the tough calls that casual fans might hate at first. This whole situation is a masterclass in roster management and coaching succession planning, and the next few months are going to define the next decade of Rams football for the Horns. At the end of the day, being a Rams fan means trusting the process that brought a trophy back to Los Angeles not too long ago. And these moves are all part of that championship DNA. Whether it is the surge of Kyren Williams or the tactical decisions surrounding Chris Shula and the draft board with guys like Ty Simpson, the goal remains exactly the same, which is total dominance in the NFC. We are not just a team, we are a movement in the NFL, and the rest of the league is clearly terrified of what we are building out here in the West. This is not just another draft prospect or a minor coaching shuffle. This is the blueprint for the next cornerstone of the Rams franchise that will keep us on top for years to come. If you are riding with the Horns through it all, then make sure you stay locked in right here for every update. This is our house, and the league better get ready for the storm that is coming. Smash that subscribe button and stay tuned.